The following broadcast may contain explicit language and adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. The opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the hosts, talent, and guests, and do not reflect the opinions, views, and standards of Pyromedia Enterprises, affiliates, subsidiaries, or its members.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Daryl Walter Show. I am Daryl Walter, your host. Usually there's an introduction, but today, you know what? I'm just going to pop up right on you. How's everybody doing today? You know what's so funny? Let me tell you something. On my end, y'all, I did not see an intro. I saw a black screen. Kwame, that's all I saw. I'm just going to talk to you. All I saw was a black screen. That is hilarious. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute here. Welcome to the Daryl Walter Show. Can you hear me and see me? Everybody can hear me and see me. Well, I didn't get to see the intro. I would have loved to see it, but welcome anyhow. I am Daryl Walter, your host. And let's get started with the show. I hope everybody had a great week. All right, y'all. I hope everybody had a beautiful week. Listen, first I want to get my bearings straight and get focused because usually I'm watching the intro with y'all. Kwame, I'm probably going to move forward, but this is me getting on the right track. Usually I see the intro, so I pop up and I get excited. So I was wondering why I didn't see the intro, and then I popped up. So let's go. Welcome, everybody, to the Daryl Walter Show. I am your host, Daryl Walter Show. Listen, I was off last week. It was my birthday last week, and I want to give a huge thank you to Pyromedianetwork, to my executive producer, Kwame, and to everyone out there that sent a text, sent a phone call, sent something and said happy birthday. I want to thank y'all so much. What's up, Major? Blessings to you also. Y'all, I just want to be very honest. I hate celebrating my birthday. Is there anybody else out there? Like, I'm one of those people. I don't like the birthday cake to come to me if we're out to dinner. I've had past birthday melt. I don't know what to call them, but just like I've had some bad birthdays. I'll just say that. The people who gave me the birthday parties and gifts don't know it wasn't that great. I didn't want to hurt their feelings, but I've had bad birthday experiences. So I'm not one to celebrate my birthday, but I am aware. I am cognitively aware of the people who do care about me, who do celebrate me, who do love me. So even though I don't like celebrating my birthday, I want you to know that I love you and I thank you for appreciating me and celebrating my birthday. I don't know. Maybe things will change. Next year when I turn 21, we'll see. Maybe I'll do something for my birthday. All right. So thank y'all for helping me celebrate. Listen, really quick, want to send rest in peace to Harry Belafonte, an icon, the civil rights entertainment giant who began as a groundbreaking actor and singer. Listen, he was before Sidney Poitier, before Denzel Washington. He was the GOAT. He became an activist, humanitarian, and conscious of the world. He died at age 96 with his wife Pamela and his publicist Ken Sunshine by his side. Listen, this man with this glowing face, I don't know, many of y'all know that raspy voice. He was known for his signature hit, Banana Boat. That, oh, me said that, me said that, me said that. If you don't know that, you've been hiding under a rock. But he forged a great legacy. And once he scaled back his performing career in the 60s, he lived out his time here with Paul Robeson's decree, the artists are gatekeepers of the truth. He was someone who paved the way and made a career without an example, without a blueprint, without a roadmap. He became the few that kept up. And with his time and commitment, none of his stature as a meeting point among Hollywood, Washington, and civil rights movement. So, y'all, let's have a moment of silence and honor the great, the icon, the legend, our now ancestor, Harry Belafonte. Man, I just feel like the greats are going. I think my question is, Kwame, who's gonna be the next Giants? Who's gonna fill the shoes of Harry Belafonte? Who's gonna fill the shoes of Cicely Tyson? Who's gonna fill those shoes? Who's gonna be the next trailblazers? Anyways, listen, y'all. Let's get into what went viral. Let me take a deep breath. Can I tell y'all, Kwame, I'm tired of gossip. I'm just, as far as Escape is concerned, the only thing I'm concerned about is the four of them performing. Okay. Simone Biles, I don't care if her hair was in a ponytail, a bouffant, or she was rocking a bald head. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Wendy Williams, let's just accept she's not coming back. I hope she just lives a nice life and like her money, she gets her money back. And let me just say another thing. Noel Jones, it was confirmed he has a 12-year-old daughter with Stacey Francis. Let's just be honest, okay? I just want to get this all off my chest because I'm tired of it all. Noel Jones having a child, sleeping with somebody ain't news. And I'm pretty sure there's more than one alleged child. And can we just go to the fact that he has a daughter with Stacey Francis? Because I kept saying, why does this name look familiar? Who is Stacey Francis? His legacy is untarnished, period. Okay, we'll get back to that after Stacey. But I said, who is Stacey? Who is Stacey Francis? Ain't that the lady that got in a fight with Whitney Houston a couple of days before she died because Whitney Houston was upset that she was messing with her man Ray J that she was sleeping with at the time? That's Stacey Francis. She's a firecracker. And I find it quite interesting that all these years later anyways, I'm just tired of it. But let's get into some important stuff. Stevie J and Faith Evans. Because this is the only one that I was interested in. Because I don't know about you, because even when they got married, I was like, why are they getting married? Why are they getting married? He's the godfather to one of her, to the baby she has with Biggie. Anyways, Stevie took Faith's 2023 Mercedes Sprinter. That's that big Mercedes van. It went to Coachella. Okay. Faith went to the court and filed an emergency order to have her car returned. Now, this is very interesting to me, and we're going to get into the toxic masculinity, right? Because they got married in 2018, and they were married for 3 years. Number one, they got married without a prenuptial agreement. Let me tell y'all something. Gay, straight, pandemic. If you decide to get married in 2023 in the name of Faith Evans, get a prenup agreement. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Anyways, according to Radar Online, on Tuesday, a hearing was held on Faith's emergency motion filed as a part of the couple's bitter divorce. Look at your neighbor and say bitter, okay? Stevie's the one who filed for divorce, by the way, just to be clear, okay? They got married in 2018 and they divorced in 2021. Here is my question for y'all. Was Stevie wrong for taking the van? Oh, what does Faith do for a living? Listen, let me tell y'all a funny story, y'all. Outside of this, I work in a restaurant, and Faith came into my restaurant. Faith is still working, and let's be clear, she is a singer and songwriter. So Faith is still eating off of her royalties and publishing. Faith got money, and the other part is Stevie J has money too. So in my mind, allegedly, this is just a bitter divorce because they're bitter at each other. I don't think they plan on getting divorced. Stevie didn't plan on because Stevie's a hot mess. But let me ask y'all this and be honest. Do you think Faith should pay spousal support? Do you think Faith should pay spousal support? I mean, they both got married. In this case, what it looks like, and I'm just going to say allegedly, Kwame, you help me out with this. Faith makes more money than Stevie right now. Stevie got that bad boy money, but Stevie also got babies all over the place. You know he got he's a Bella baby, Bella Bonnie, Bella Babby, Jocelyn's baby. That's the daddy. Looked just like him. She looked just like him. And then he got a daughter with Mimi. Who's now a lesbian now. She's part of the LGBTQ plus IA community. Anyways, y'all tell me what you think about this. Because, in traditional, normal, heteronormative relationships, normally it's the man that's paying spousal support. And in this instance, it looks like Stevie J is dragging this out. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. The way I'm feeling for the summertime, I'm here for the shenanigans. I'm going to follow it. We're going to stay up on it, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about toxic masculinity in the gay community, featuring none other than Don Lemon. Ooh, y'all ain't gonna hear what I got to say about this, but we're gonna talk about this in a few minutes when we come back. All right, I'll see y'all in a few moments.
This episode is sponsored in part by Bullet and Flight Radio. Get ready to uplift your spirit with Bullet and Flight Radio, the world's leading progressive Christian radio station. Experience the vibrant fusion of gospel house music and a rich medley of inspiration from all musical genres that'll make your heart soar. Join their extraordinary lineup of today's trailblazers, visionaries, and voices that matter, all sharing their stories and wisdom. Stay plugged in around the clock as they broadcast unmissable content 24/7. Your go-to station for all things inspiring. Become a pilot today by visiting bulletandflightradio.com. Bullet and Flight Radio. Your story, our station.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Daryl Walters Show. Listen, did y'all see that commercial? Kwame, was that Hope Giselle? Was that Hope Giselle in the commercial there? Can I just say she looked at lately? She has just been like, she has been eating. Hope, if you see this, can I just say I love you and I look forward to having you on the show one day, but you look amazing these days. You got the glow, baby. Anyways, let's talk about it, y'all. Listen, I was in a conversation recently. I don't know if y'all saw my show. She looks amazing. I don't know if y'all saw my show I did with Vanessa Brooks recently, and I did the rerun last week on my birthday. And I had her on my show. She's a former pastor, now owner and creator of Life After Church. But we were talking, I was engaging with her on her live, and we were having a conversation just about women and toxic masculinity. She was amazing. And she said something to me that stopped me in my tracks. She said, you know, Daryl, I got to stop you right there. Gay men have been guilty of toxic masculinity too. Now, I feel like I'm late to the game because apparently these conversations have been going on for some time, but this is a conversation that I never thought of. I don't know if I thought that gay men could be excluded from toxic masculinity, or I never thought of the role, and I'm going to include myself, gay men play in toxic masculinity, okay? You know, toxic masculinity gets thrown around as a buzzword sometimes, but at its root, it's a multifaceted term, okay, to describe harmful masculinity. Listen, we're going to talk about it today. And while toxic masculinity is ingrained in some areas of our culture, identifying it, calling it out, and taking steps to treat it, okay, can make for safer places. That is my intent. That is my goal. Now, somebody said, well, Daryl, what does toxic masculinity and being gay have to do with Don Lemon? Well, I'm going to tell you, okay? We're going to talk about this, and I want to break this down. These opinions are my opinions, not Power Media Network. You may or may not agree, but let's get into it, okay? Don Lemon. Now, and you know what's so funny? Recently, I asked my friends, I began to reach out and say, hey, can gay men possess the characteristics of toxic masculinity? You know, if so, and how? And they gave me examples, and a lot of people, it was an astounding yes. And my first thought was like, how come I've never had this conversation before? How come I've never thought about this? Welcome, Enos, to the show. Let's talk about Don Lemon, okay? Don Lemon was recently fired from CNN, okay? Coincidentally, around the same time as conservative political commentator Tucker Carlson, okay? We'll get into that in a minute. First, his career. Now, let's talk about Don, okay? They were both fired, right? Tucker Carlson, one thing that we do know is that Fox News recently paid a little over $250 million, with a B, dollars for basically lying about the election. And then Tucker Carlson was let go. Let me tell you, Tucker Carlson was let go so fast, he didn't even get to say goodbye, okay? And a lot of people are celebrating Tucker Carlson's firing. But a lot of people are struggling. I won't say struggling, but stunned and in mixed reviews of Don Lemon's firing, okay? Can we play the video clip, Kwame, first? Let's play that video clip talking about his firing.
News broke yesterday that longtime host at CNN, Don Lemon, was fired, according to a report in the New York Times. A heated interview he conducted with GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy played a role in the firing. Now we have a clip of the contentious exchange. Let's watch.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They were not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because Black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to happen.
And you know how they got it?
War
They got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the
NRA did not play a big role in that.
They trained Black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role in that.
Co-host Poppy Harlow watched on as the pair continued bickering.
We have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different point of view.
Black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate.
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man,
insulting that
but
you're
me regarding you
here,
as a fellow citizen.
That you're
That's what I
sitting
think
here,
we should
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about
I'm,
what it's like to be black.
Whatever ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
The content of the ideas.
If you're going to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay? We appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation.
Thank you. The conversation.
Thank you
So much.
Lemon said he was stunned at the news and posted a message on Twitter yesterday morning saying the network didn't tell him he was let go and his agent broke the news to him instead. A point the network denied, writing, quote, Don Lemon's statement about this morning's events is inaccurate. He was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter. CNN CEO Chris Licht released a statement after Lemon's firing, thanking Lemon for his contributions to the network and said he will always be a part of the scene.
Baby, first of all, bring me back up on screen, Kwame. Yeah, bring me back to the main screen. First of all, can we just notice how Poppy had nothing to say? That's the lady to the side of him. So much toxicity in the air. I never took the time to give each one an adjective. Exactly. We never take the time to address it. And again, going to Don Lemon, someone would say at face value, Daryl, what does that have to do with toxic masculinity? Well, first of all, let's talk about this. What we watched right there is not the reason Don Lemon was fired. And first of all, let me just give some advice right here, because I don't know who needs to hear this, but that job don't care about you, okay? I just want to park right here and just say it to somebody. You've been showing up early. You've been doing overtime. They won't let you take your PTO. You've given that job the best years of your life. But I just want you to know they don't give a damn about you. The one thing that both Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon have in common is that they're both employees. And the last time I checked, as long as you're an employee, when you get hired, one of the things that they tell you is that this is an at-will what? Employment. I'm trying to help somebody out there, okay? As long as you the employee, okay? Some of y'all need to be the owner. I don't know who I'm talking to. Some of you need to start that business, because as long as you clocking in, that's what they were doing, you risk the chance of getting fired. But I really want to get to the real reason why I believe Don Lemon was fired. I think he was targeted a long time ago. Can we go to the clip between him and Nikki Haley? Hey, Nikki. Let's play that clip between Don Lemon.
She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that, politicians aren't in their prime.
You need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime?
Y'all, what he said, whatever race you are, sounds disrespectful in a way, but Lemon has been cruising for a minute. He has been cruising for a minute. And let's be honest, that was not the moment that got Don Lemon fired, okay? That was the moment that CNN was able to use as a reason to fire him. But let's go back to that conversation, between those women about Nikki Haley. It's the audacity for me. First of all, Don Lemon is 57 years old, So for him to make a comment about a woman's prime, and he said it as if it was some sort of fact. Notice he got taken off that show and he got put on the morning show. But again, what happened with that moment, a lot of people said, well, what's wrong with what he said? White men said it. Other people say it. Other people have done it. But does it make it right? And here's my question. This is just a question. Are gay men getting a pass for exhibiting masculine toxic behavior? I'm just asking. Maybe in the ways that we view women sometimes. And what are some ways that masculine toxic behavior is exhibited? This is just me talking. Homophobia. It teaches men that homosexuality is a deviation from traditional masculinity. Look at how many DL men that we still have. Femphobia. Well, you know I'm gay, but I'm not gay. Okay. These are things that I have just been thinking about. Sexual aggression towards women. You know, and here's the thing with Don Lemon. It's like, I think Don Lemon is going to be fine. Okay, don't get me wrong. I think he's been an amazing journalist. But there are some things I think he took advantage of. And in this case, with those comments with Nikki Haley, he said them so comfortably. He said them so comfortably. And the thing about it is, do we give an excuse because he's a minority also? Anyways, let me give you some more examples. Refusing to help with household duties. You know, how many times do we look in relationships between a man and woman or a man and man where those roles are still instilled? And one is, you know, you get questions like, well, who's the man in the relationship? Who is the woman in the relationship? And to be honest, in 2023, those norms are being broken. But what can we do to move forward? You know, let's look at this comment. What makes anyone the judge of someone else's expiration date? Don forgot and they reminded him. Let me tell you, Don did more than forget. I think Don Lemon has been skating on thin ice for a very long time. And you know what? Let's be honest. You know, the thing that Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon share in common is that they have been skating on thin ice for a very long time. And in my humble opinion, I think the fact that they are men, they were protected a little longer. Could you imagine if Don Lemon were a Black woman making those comments about a Black man? Or some of the things that, you know, Tucker Carlson has said, which, you know, listen, he said some crazy things, but would it have been different if a woman had said half of the things that he had said? You know, and again, this makes me think about the toxic masculinity and the role that gay men have played in it. And it's just so funny that this example with Don Lemon has taken place. Let me know some of your thoughts. Do you think Don Lemon was out of line? Do you think his behavior was excusable? Major says, what makes anyone the judge of someone else's expiration date? No one is the judge. No one can be the judge. Kwame said, yeah, but I don't think Tucker would have been fired if Fox didn't have a lawsuit because he has said way worse than Don, which is very true. It is very, very true. Absolutely. And for years being around them, the table, thinking he was the part of the family. Listen, two things can be true at the same time. And people out there need to know, as long as you are an employee, as much as they say they love you, as many raises as they give you, as much as they invite you to the cookout, invite you to the party, invite you to whatever event that they're having, at the end of the day, companies have to protect themselves. You're either going to be an asset or a liability. As long as you're an asset for a company, listen, you're all good. But the moment you become a liability, which is what I think happened for Don Lemon, you're out. You know, and listen, I agree, yes, as long as you're a Black employee, but let's go a step further because we're in 2023 right now, right? And a lot of companies are jumping on board with Black programs and Black sponsors because it's popular to be Black right now, right? Just like, I'll take the conversation one way, it's popular um, to be a big artist or it's popular to be gay. But at the end of the day, a lot of these people are doing it for the popularity and not because they truly support. It's more than just color, race, or gender. It is a selfish thing that the company sees the green and what's going to make sense for the company. Because listen, if you're a Black employee and you're an asset and you're viable, ain't nobody gonna fire Oprah. I mean, Oprah's not fireable. You know what I'm saying? But they're not gonna fire. But Don, I think Don, Don was a cat with 12 lives, and he used all 11 and a half of them. But honestly, can I tell y'all, I didn't realize the toxic masculinity behavior that Don Lemon had exhibited. That Don Lemon exhibited. She can't get canceled. She can't get canceled. It's very true. But even canceled is a questionable thing. And let me talk about Don Lemon a little further because according to the Peoples, they said his relationship is at jeopardy. They said the fiance, I thought they were married, but they said the fiance said, okay, you keep coming home with bad news and stuff. you keep on. Ain't gonna be too much, ain't gonna be a wedding too much longer around here, okay? According to the People, what they're saying is Don Lemon in the midst of turmoil as he suffered a series of multiple blows. And that was another thing. When he took to Twitter and did the whole, he was stunned and everything, and CNN said, let's not go telling lies like that. It's giving very much so hit dog holler, okay? Let's see here. Major said, Kwame, hello. Do you think Don thought being gay was why he thought he was untouchable? Do a lot of gays think they're untouchable? Anyways, the controversial TV journalist has been forced into the center of a great deal of drama, right? After he was slammed across media for spewing the ageist comments. And let's be honest, they were ageist comments. And the thing about it is the only reason he apologized, I believe, is because he got called out. I think at the time when he made those comments, he didn't see anything wrong with them because he thought he was stating facts. But he didn't even see how offensive it was. Whoopi should watch herself too, but I think Whoopi is one one show away from retirement. They gonna offer Whoopi gonna retire. And Kwame said no. I think because he was with the white man and rubbing elbows with the white man, he thought he was safe. You know what? And let me tell y'all something, Kwame. That's a good comment. Y'all stay tuned. Keep watching the Daryl Walters show because I am gonna do a show on dating and dating in the gay world. And that's one of the conversations I do want to have is with the interracial dating. And Kwame, I think on some level, you are right. And I think that it's not necessarily the relationship, but I think the relationship is an outward accessory to the entitlement he felt he had. You follow? You see what I'm saying? I think Don Lemon already felt entitled before the relationship, but the relationship enforced that entitlement. Anyways, as far as I'm concerned, that relationship ain't gonna last too much longer because all that bad stuff coming home with Don and Tim has been understanding to a point. But no one thinks he's gonna put up with the temper tantrums. That's what people say, temper tantrum, and neglect much longer. A source revealed to the news publications their friends are cautioning Don to fix things because there's only so much a partner can endure. I want to know who these friends are. let's park right here. If you in a relationship, gonna be I ain't even in a relationship, but keep people out your business. Okay. The famed broadcast company confirmed News Lemon has been ousted from the network early Monday morning. And listen, Don Lemon is going to bounce back from it. Is he going to bounce back to a point that he bounces to another brother? Probably not. But I think that Don Lemon, and let me tie it back to all of us, Don Lemon should honestly be a call to do self-reflection. I think that's what it's been for me, and that's why I brought this conversation to this platform. That Don Lemon made me look at myself and reflect on myself. How do I interact with my Black women? How do I interact with my trans women, my trans brothers and sisters? Are there moments where I have exhibited behavior that was toxic in my masculinity? You know, as someone who has feminine characteristics for so long, that is something that I was ashamed of, right? Because I grew up feeling like, you know, this is what a man is. This is how I should be as a man. And as I close out the show, I want to go into not only, okay, what are characteristics? How do we identify, you know, toxic masculine behavior? Because we know that. We know that across the board. But the question is, once we identify it, how do we handle it? What do we do about it? How do we eradicate it? Right? Because one of the things I want you all to know is masculinity in itself is not a bad thing. I am not saying erase masculinity. Being masculine is beautiful as much as being feminine is beautiful. And men and women can have masculine and feminine traits, and both are beautiful. The thing about it is when it becomes toxic. And what do I mean by toxic? When it becomes unhealthy. When it becomes unhealthy, where it causes the risk of your health, when it causes hurt or shame on someone else. What are some examples? Like I read before, refusing to help with household duties, promiscuity. Promiscuity is an example of toxic masculinity. Why? Praises men for having multiple sexual partners while expressing disgust at women for doing the same. And in this case, even judging other men for doing the same. I think sometimes, you know, especially in the gay culture, we're going to talk about this, we judge those who are promiscuous and give them a judgment. It's a little toxic. Just something to question, okay? The need for control. Risk-taking. Taking risk and suppressing fears is another feature of toxic masculinity. I'm just telling you what I researched and found, okay? As a result, men are more likely to abuse drugs, drive dangerously, gamble, and engage in violence. Toxic masculinity and violence. In the gay community also. You know, we praise the fights. You know, we praise that masculine behavior, right? We praise the thugs. And then those who are feminine, you know, even Saucy Santana, and those, look at how we judge and we put in levels. And so my challenge for you, my followers, my viewers, my friends out there, is to have a healthy look at ourselves in ways. What are ways in my life that I've exhibited this toxic masculine behavior that I can change it? Are there ways that I've interacted with Black women that can be better? Because when I've talked to a lot of my Black female friends, they said, you know what, Daryl? Yes, I've experienced this behavior from gay men. And I'm like, really? How? And I think sometimes it's in the subtle subconscious things. The pedestal we put women on who wear high heels. Women don't want to wear high heels all the time, but that's another conversation. Listen, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this show. I don't know what's going to happen with Don Lemon. Listen, Honestly, I think Don Lemon is going to be fine. I think, to be honest, this is my opinion. This is Daryl's opinion. I don't know if I feel sorry for Don Lemon. I think this is something that he brought on himself, and hopefully as he goes into his next part of his life, because he's hireable, he's an amazing journalist. There's some conversation that maybe he'll think about, even as a Black gay man. Whew. All right, y'all, listen. I'm not going to take a commercial break. We're going to come to an end. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Daryl Walters Show. Listen, I'm excited about the show we have coming up. And if you are interested in being a guest, if you are an artist, if you are a creative, if you are an entrepreneur, especially to my LGBTQIA plus people out there, listen, hit me up. I want to talk to you. I want to have a conversation with you. Until then, y'all, I want y'all to make sure to mind your business. Stay hydrated. Listen, if you have a dream, stay true to it. If you have a vision, don't give up. But most of all, stay true to yourself. All right, y'all. I'll see you next week. Peace. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Pyromedia Network's YouTube channel for more awesome content. Plus, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live or upload new videos. Visit pyromedianetwork.com today, not just to check out our incredible roster of talented creatives, but also to gain access to exclusive bonus material available only to our Pyro fam. Show your support for this Black-owned indie network by donating today. Help us keep igniting brands everywhere.